Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get into the MLB action Wednesday, April 23rd. We will break down the 12 games. Company guys getting a little better. We had a little bit of a stomach bug going around, so yesterday just kind of took the day off. So let's get into the picks for today. We are a day away from the NFL draft as well. So that's going to be something as we look into the first round. I will kind of share some of my thoughts if you guys are looking to still get involved. A lot of those lines have moved a lot, but we do still have some betting angles worth getting into. I will share my kind of plays on Discord. I don't know if I'm going to do a full video breaking that all down, but let's get into the MLB picks for today. All right, and as we look into this, guys, this is Outlier. If you aren't familiar, make sure you all check it out. Link down below in the description for a 7-day free trial. If you guys bet props, fantasy, anything like that, you want to just find the best number available, betting trends, you need to use Outlier. 7-day free trial, like I said. Click my link down below and sign up today. All right. So let's look into that first game within what we have going on with the Braves and Cardinals. Miles Mikolas going against the likes of Bryce Elder. And this is kind of where you look into the Atlanta Braves, a little bit of a controversy going on, but also St. Louis has been kind of doing the opposite in terms of hitting the baseball. I have not been kind of a fan of kind of the lull St. Louis has been in. The last 4 of their 5 games, they have been losing. Atlanta, on the other hand, winners of their 4 of their last 5. I think this is kind of where the Braves, if you're able to grab them on a buy low spot, you've been pretty successful betting, taking down the Cardinals. Okay, 7-6, and then losing ultimately 10-4 in their last time out. This is kind of where you see a little bit of a potential for a rubber match between the Braves and the Cardinals. So it probably would be a lean towards the Braves. It's just at -160. I mean, are you guys really confident with anything the Braves are doing right now, let alone laying $1.60? I didn't think so. So we're going to stay away from this one. Even if the Braves do get it done, it's a pass for me. Okay, Philadelphia and the Mets. This is a very interesting spot. The track record for the Mets versus the Phillies, completely dismantling them. The Philadelphia Phillies regular season record against the Mets is abysmal. And this is probably going to be the best pitching matchup we do get within this midweek kind of series within Zach Wheeler and David Peterson. Okay, now Peterson coming off of a rocky start last time out, but one of my favorite pitchers to back in the MLB. This one would be kind of setting up for a little bit of a reversion, if you will. If you want to play the bounce back for the Phillies, -118, it's a cheap price. I think everybody's sitting there waiting for it, waiting for them just to break out and explode. But, you know, just like last night, losing, I think, 5-1 to the Mets on the road. Ugly bullpen looks taxed. And Zach Wheeler really hasn't had the stuff that I think that we're all used to him doing, especially on the road. This is a Mets kind of lean for me at plus money, +105. It's hard to really go against that trend until the Phillies get it done. Okay, but no play for me. Also, Pete Alonso, stay hot. If you want to get behind somebody hitting the baseball very well, Pete Alonso would be one of those players that I would back in the prop market. Absolutely destroying the baseball. If you look at some of his splits, we did take him on a prop, and I think he went 0 for 4 in that one game. So Pete Alonso, stay hot going into Zach Wheeler. We'll see. It's just kind of a stay away game. If anything, I could see this one going under the total as well, but the total set at 7.5. A little too low. A little too low for me. Okay. But we do look in the next one, Padres and Detroit. That will be an official play. This is just a play on principle. I'm a big fan of the Padres in terms of their hitting splits. A lot of their things top to bottom. I know a lot of people do fade them at times, but this is kind of where I'm getting +135 with San Diego. And whether you call that them begging me to take San Diego or just it's the right side to be on, I'm going to take it. Okay. The Tigers are great. Probably the most, I guess, underappreciated or even undervalued team in the major leagues, but still at +135, even though they're on the road, I still think that they have a decent enough lineup that they could get into a slugfest with any team. So give me the Padres +135. We'll get this one done on the road against the Tigers. Okay. Next game, the Guards and the Yanks, as we look into Cleveland hosting the New York Yankees, and this is going to be a rocking time in Cleveland. Not only do they have a 1 o'clock first pitch, they do get the Cavaliers hosting the Miami Heat as well in that second game of their series in the NBA, respectively. But I do think this is something where we look into kind of what New York's been able to do. They've dropped 2 midweeks against Cleveland, and now it's kind of that bounce back spot as the Yankees are minus 148 favorites. Carlos Rodon going against Ortiz for the Tribe. I just think that this is kind of where you look into what do we have going on. I think the big storyline is that the Cleveland Guardians have been able to score a lot of runs lately and play great baseball. Okay, look at their record here in their last 5 games. They've won 5 straight, 14-9 on the season. This is kind of where, you look for a little bit of showing some teeth. Who's actually going to be, you get to see some of the character that pops out in these teams. I know it's a long season, but this is kind of that game where it's a prideful win, okay? And Cleveland's not that team that's just going to let New York just say, hey, we took 2 or 3, we'll get ready for the weekend. It's not going to work that way, okay? So I do think that Cleveland comes to play. If anything, I could see this game going over the total of 8. I think that we do get some offense on both ends. And I do kind of favor the Guardians here with some plus 130 value to complete the sweep against the Yankees here, 110 first pitch. Also, too, you do kind of catch some of these teams sleepwalking here on these getaway days where we do have these early games, and that's something to keep in mind. All right. But no official play. Orioles and Nationals, we're going to go down the board a little bit. You could see this game. This is a pure play on the over 9.5. If you wanted to ask me to make a bet, make my card that's not already on it, it would be that one. We have Shugano going against Trevor Williams. Mainly a play against Trevor Williams, and that's kind of where I stack up against it. And I will show you guys what my official bet will be. And this is kind of where we look into the potential for a team total. Okay, so if you give me 1 second, I can show you guys how we do this. And that's where I will pull up kind of this little way of doing it. Okay, so you have to click to show you guys kind of how this outlier thing works. All right, so you click the game, boom, team props, and we find Baltimore Orioles in terms of runs. And here you can see over 4.5 at minus 130. That will be our bet that we do make. All right, so we will take Baltimore team total over the minus 130 that you can find on FanDuel, and that is over 4.5 runs. I know they've been slumping lately. I do think they break out against Trevor Williams, so this is kind of where we're going to look for some scoring here from the Orioles here, over 4.5 runs. Best number available, like I said, is at FanDuel, and you can see kind of the breakdown and how Outlier does this all for you guys, finding the best bet available, okay? And even alternate lines if you do want to dabble and take even more plus money, so on and so forth, okay? But 4.5 is what we're taking with Orioles and Nationals, okay? Back to the board, Dodgers, Cubs. That was a fishy line yesterday where we saw the total go over. It was a complete slugfest. Total set at 9. Kind of would lean back to it again as we look into kind of what the Dodgers may do. Staff day, who knows? Also, the Dodgers minus 108. Just out of principle, that's another play. Whenever you get a Dodgers game close to even money, they're essentially daring you to take them. And that's kind of where it does not fail you more times than it does, in my opinion. Even Dodgers on the run line here at plus 150. It's just a play that's kind of a grinded out kind of play as we look to bet the whole season. You're going to win more of those than you lose. Full disclosure. Okay, but no play for me officially. The Cincinnati game against the Marlins, we are going to back the Cincinnati Reds here, plus 110 on the money line. Another play on a road team that we do get Singer going against Sandy Alcantara. Looking for Singer to go 4-0. I think the number's wrong. Cincinnati should be favored in this spot. Coin flip game, better pitcher on the road. I think that we get some plus money value, so we're going to just take a stab on Cincy as we look to back the Reds here on the money line, okay? Seattle, Boston. This is a play where I really wanted to get involved with a little bit more juicier play, but I think the best number is still available. If we can find that minus 134 with Boston on the money line, that's what we're going to be taking. The reason why is Emerson Hancock's going for the Mariners, and we look at Newcomb for the Red Sox. Serviceable, 0-2 on the season, but this is something where we could get a lot of runs. I just don't, quite frankly, think that the Red Sox are going to let Emerson Hancock off the hook. I think that their team total is a live bet as well, but I think Boston playing at Fenway, 14-11 on the season. Give me the Red Sox here at home, minus 134 to complete the job against the Mariners as one of my best bets. Okay, going down the board a little bit more, we talked about Dodgers and the Cubs, Houston and Toronto. This was another game that we kind of want to look into the pitching matchup, right? Gusto going against Bowden Francis. All indications say go under the total of 8.5, but not so fast. We've had some run output in these last few games within these two clubs. This is a no play for me. This is kind of, I don't want to say a rivalry kind of series, but, Toronto's taken Houston has taken 2 of the first 2 games against Houston. So little getaway game potentially for the Blue Jays to steal one, -104 with their best pitcher, in my opinion, going. This is kind of where you would look for a Blue Jays victory, but I do think that we've stayed under the total of 8.5 in both contests thus far. I think under would be my play for the full game, as we have a 7:40 first pitch there in Space City. As we look for under 8.5 at minus. I'm trying to find my -105. Yeah, FanDuel's best number available, and see that's kind of why I also use Outlier. 8.5's at -105, so you have -105 both on the over and the under. Okay, so that does give you some arbitrage opportunity. If you can see a number move, you can catch it within a nickel or a dime. That's kind of another angle that you can shoot. But I hate overpaying for flat bets, and -105 does give you some wiggle room there in terms of units. Okay. Next one, Colorado and Kansas City. This will be an official play for me as well. You're going to have to find the number available to you on DraftKings, but I will take Kansas City not to bat in the 9th going against Colorado. I just think it's a completely mismatched game. I'm not going to lay -185, but I trust the Royals to get this one done. Even looked at them on the run line, but I am going to lay the juice and take them to not bat in the 9th inning as one of my best bets. Okay, and that might actually be one of my favorite plays of the day because I think the number is priced a little bit too low. Okay, Chicago, Minnesota, there is no play for me in this game. Divisional game, White Sox are absolute trash, and the Twins are not looking to find themselves, but they do have the pitching edge here with Festa. The -267, you got to be insane to lay that, so we're going to stay away from that as well. Pirates and Angels, Heaney going against Kokonowicz. You look into kind of what we have going on with the Angels. This would be a play where I hate to do it, but I think that the Angels do look a little bit live here with a pitcher with a 6.2 ERA, and they just hit the baseball a little too much for the Pirates. I think that's just what it comes down to. But no play for me. I don't like the Pirates going out to the West Coast as well. So I do think the Angels have a considerable edge in this spot, albeit the Pirates are rolling out Andrew Heaney. Okay. Rays and Diamondbacks, you can see on your board here, +125 if you want to back Taj Bradley going against Ed Rodriguez. And that's kind of where you look into the potential here for a little bit of a mismatch, okay? I personally think the Diamondbacks are live, and it's something where if you want to bet against Taj Bradley, then you take the Diamondbacks. Otherwise, I think that it's a safe enough bet to roll with the Rays here at plus money. So this is a no play for me. Too much of a coin flip, but I do think that the both teams are live in regards to. It's no edge, okay? And when I say there's no edge, that's kind of my label for a game that it should be a coin flip. And if you're going to give me +125, that's just way too much value, and it's beyond my number, so that would make it a play. If you were going to make a play just on the number, except I just don't want to bet against the Diamondbacks because I think offensively they have enough to just kind of overpower the Tampa Bay Rays. Milwaukee and San Fran. San Fran's kind of in that kind of stay away series. Against Milwaukee, at least, until we see a little bit of a consistency within kind of what they were doing. They dropped a few games in a row. Their pitchers kind of look like they took a 180, and now Logan Webb going against Freddie Peralta. This game, by all accounts, should set up to be an under, but the 7 is way too low, in my opinion. I think we could get a breakout. I potentially would take the plus money and go over the +105. That's probably where I would go on this. I think that Milwaukee can get enough done offensively. And I think San Fran, as we all know, could score 7 in any single game. And we do know how Peralta likes to give up the long ball, albeit he has really had a great start to his 2025 season. Sub-2 ERA, 2-1 on the year. I would lean over the 7, but no play for me, okay? And then the last game to finalize kind of this Wednesday card, Rangers and A's. We look in kind of we look into Sears and Kamara Rocker going against each other. The interesting thing about this one is that was my favorite play yesterday in on the board, was taking the over. It was Patrick Corbin Day, I believe, for the Rangers, and I just think that we get this ballpark that the A's are playing, and it does set up a lot for the over. It was a big number. I think it was 10, but we wanted to kind of look for those spots where we have some value. And I do think this is a kind of the same storyline where I would look to the over here in this game. But if we're going to call everything equal, it's kind of a better opportunity for the A's, and I don't like the Texas Rangers away from their home park, and that's even where Kumar Rocker 6+ ERA. I think that you do have some value if you want to take the A's minus 105 on the money line. If not, I'll still look in the over 9.5 at plus 105, but no play for me officially. All right. So that'll about wrap it up. If you guys want my rundown, I'll give a quick recap. But if you have not done so, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us here on the channel. The 5 plays that I am giving out: Cincinnati on the money line, plus 110, San Diego plus 135, Boston minus 134, Kansas City to not bat in the 9th, courtesy of DraftKings. Make sure you go find the current number there. And also, I would not go above minus 150 if I'm going to get involved with that. And then Baltimore team total over the 4.5 at minus 130. And that'll wrap up my card. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Good luck with your picks. We'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.